wanted to do a little explainer of the different audio settings in the Ecamm Zoom integration. So without further ado, let's go to demo mode, and then I will go into preferences. So the Zoom audio processing, when you say disabled, essentially that's going to disable all of the echo cancellation and all of that stuff in Zoom, the Zoom processing itself. So anything that comes over from your Ecamm, like sound effects and things like that, are actually going to play through to Zoom. But that's not. I usually disable that so Zoom settings are overridden. Leave it like that. The other option is to enable it, and then you can configure all of your audio processing profile stuff in Zoom if you want. But because I am usually having I usually have headphones in. I usually have my Rodecaster Pro. I just leave it disabled, so that way everything that the good audio that I'm already used to getting in my Ecamm production is going to happen in Zoom also. So the next thing is this manual audio mode. It's early today. Manual audio mode. And essentially what that is going to do is if it's unchecked, so if that's unchecked, what's going to happen is it's going to be a little bit weird because you're going to see my screen here. Actually, I'm going to switch the video so it doesn't look like that. We'll just go to the FaceTime camera. Okay, so if you have it unchecked, what's going to happen is a couple different things. None of the microphone things are going to matter in here. So what's going to happen is it's automatically going to choose when somebody joins in your Zoom. Your microphone will automatically be your Ecamm Live virtual audio, like the audio from Ecamm Live. So it doesn't really matter what you have in here. And then your speaker still will matter, because what will happen is it's going to automatically select whatever you have set as your speaker in Ecamm. So if you look in the preferences in audio and you say speakers, it's going to show your speakers as that. So whatever that is set as your speaker, it is going to be. So if that's set as your Rodecaster, if that's set as whatever, the audio going out for the Zoom meeting is going to go through that. And that's going to be, you're going to hear all participants through that audio. But at that point, anyone talking in Zoom is not going to be broadcast over your actual Ecamm Live production. So the only thing that they would hear is if you were streaming also, as well as having a Zoom meeting, the only thing that your stream would hear would be whatever you see coming out here. So it's just going to be whatever's bouncing here. So you're going to hear it because you're going to hear it in whatever your speaker is set at for Ecamm Live. So if you play anything here, you're going to hear you are going to see, if I play anything in my audio, you'll hear it, and that same thing is going to be heard in Zoom, and that's the same place that you're going to hear your Zoom participants talking, but they will not be going out on your stream. If you switch this Zoom setting to manual audio mode, what happens then is, let's go back. If you're in manual audio mode, again, like I said, any Zoom participants that are not brought on screen, you're going to hear them, but your stream people will not hear them, because they won't hear anything that's not bouncing down in this little audio Zoom setting here. So if you switch over to manual audio mode, essentially your guests, go back. When you are in the automatic audio mode, so if you bring people on screen, or bring them if they're here and you bring them in, then their audio will come through here, and your stream guests will hear them. I mean, people watching on YouTube or wherever will hear them, but they won't hear anybody else in Zoom. So if there's 6 people in Zoom and they're all talking, but you're only bringing one on camera, then your streaming people watching on YouTube are only going to see that or hear those guests that are bouncing through this Zoom guest audio right here. You'll hear them because, again, you're listening to the Zoom meeting itself, but your streaming people won't hear them. Now in manual audio modes, if you click on manual audio mode, Ecamm is not going to do anything with that. It won't bring any audio in. So essentially what you will need to do then is, so if you have a Rodecaster Pro, I would set this microphone to be, let's say Rodecaster Pro 2 chat. I would set the speaker as Rodecaster Pro 2 chat. And then any audio coming in is like, if I'm hearing them in my earphones, they are going to go out through my stream. Because what will happen is I'm managing all the audio. So all of the Zoom audio, whether they're on camera or not, is going out to my my Rodecaster Pro chat channel, and then being brought back in to Ecamm through my mic here. And so that's just the difference between those two modes and how you would manage them. So if you have something like a Rodecaster where it's a multi-channel thing with mix minus and everything, you're going to bring them in. But one thing to note is anything that you hear in your Zoom meeting is then going to be broadcast out to whatever you're streaming to. So that can be a little bit confusing. And so essentially you just need to know what you're doing. So if you're going to be having a lot of people in your meeting, what I would recommend doing is I would have, like, let's say you have 6 guests in your Zoom meeting and they're all in their meeting. I would mute them all to begin with while you're talking to guest 1. So let's say you bring guest 1 on screen. I would mute them. I'd mute everybody, bring guest 1 in, and then this is with the manual audio mode, so with my mixer. I would mute everybody else, bring in guest 1, unmute him in Zoom, and then when I'm done with him, mute him again, bring guest 2 in, unmute her in Zoom, so that way I can hear her. So hopefully that makes sense. That is a little bit different. Again, if you're in the automatic mode for audio, all of your Zoom guests are not going to go out to your stream unless they are added to the stream, brought into the Zoom panel here, in Ecamm. But then if you will hear that everybody, but only your stream will only hear your guests here. And then if you are in manual audio mode, you are controlling all of the audio and what gets back into Ecamm. Hopefully that makes sense. I can do a demo actually with my whole Rodecaster Pro sometime if that helps.